difficult to measure this, so there will understandably be very different figures around this. Based on the reports that we received from our long-term observers in the field and from cross-referencing different media reports that were coming through, we've recorded that there seemed to be at least 150 people that were killed over the campaign and election days and results processes. This isn't a definitive figure. This is based in part on second-hand information. But obviously that's 150 people too many for any electoral process. On the final question of whether the results reflected the will of the people, this is always a difficult question and made even more difficult here by the fact there were so many elections. It wasn't just one we were observing. But our role was to look at the process and to look at what was going well and what was difficult in the process. And of course it's up to Nigerian institutions and people to look at the results themselves. Look to INEC and others to give explanation on how results have been transmitted exactly. But for us, this issue really comes back to some of the recommendations that we've made, including priority recommendations, about the need to have much more robust procedures around the results transmission and around the collation of results, for these to be very clear in advance, agreed with the parties in advance, so everybody knows what is happening and knows what they can expect. Also for there to be stronger transparency, so people can see exactly what results are where at each stage of the process. So again, this problem that has arisen and this controversy that has arisen now shows the need to be making reform going forward. On the third question relating to the challenges that INEC faces, obviously administering an election in a country like Nigeria is of course going to bring many challenges with a population of this size and such a big terrain. But in addition to that inherent challenge, there were other challenges that could have been avoided in this election. That includes the way that party supporters were behaving with violence to polling and electoral staff. That's something that is never good in an election. It damages an election process to have violence and intimidation to staff. Also, of course, the late legal changes made it difficult for INEC to then work out its regulations and have time to practice and to implement them. And that's exactly why, as Maria has said, we very much encourage early national discussion and early starts at reforming the legal framework, so there is time for the debate, so there is time to put the reforms into practice and to test them and refine them before the next general election. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah.